6 months later, and I finally remembered this series. Well, today we are doing chapter 2, called Jacknife. Pause. Okay, fine. If you really want me to explain, this series is dedicated to me speedrunning every Mirror's Edge chapter. Mirror's Edge is a parkour game usually overlooked by people when considering the genre. But you know, I thought it was a good idea to make a series not only showing how beautiful this game is and the mechanics, especially for the year it was made, but to also enlighten a bit about the experience of a dumbass who has no idea how to speedrun, trying to cut his time. First, let's take a look at a casual run so we know what we're working with here. First things first, as a disclaimer, this is not just me explaining the run and the level, I'm also gonna try and explain a couple of the spots where I think I should improve, or maybe I can find some strategies. So, first of all, we spawn in, Merc calls us, and boom, we gotta climb a fence. Now, you can do the long ass route, just climbing the pipe, going over the vent and all the other stuff. Or you can try something else, like, I don't know, wall running over the wall. Oh, roll the other clip. Wall running over the wall. Oh, so it's not that simple. Well, I do have two strategies for this, but we're gonna talk about that in the optimization section. So let's move on. And boom, helicopter. I mean, Faith is just a girl, but whatever, gender equality, right? So we run through the canal, they get the whole army on our girl, and I gotta say, this zone is really difficult for me. Even in my first run, second run, I could never understand what I did wrong here because I always get shot up and I get damaged and slowed down to hell. And this sniper, god damn this sniper. So I'm going to try to improve this zone as well, but I'm not sure. Maybe going into the canal itself is a little more dangerous because it slows you down. The problem with the lateral side is that the sniper can pick you off very easily. So you have to kind of do some evasive maneuvers in. It's weird, but I'm sure we can improve. So we climb through the vent and we reach the big, I don't know, is this a hole? I'm not really sure. Anyways, the helicopter chases us down into the hole, it dips, and we get a nice little scenic route over here. The drop down here is very simple, but I can use a couple of strategies like dropping down off the pipes instantly when I catch them, or just clean pathing. Apart from that, it's not that hard of a zone. We reach inside the tunnel, using quick turning, which should have been a day 1 mechanic in Dying Light. I shouldn't have to unlock that shit for skill points. Thank you. And we reach a big room. Now this room, one of my favorite levels, I gotta say, this is a beautiful room. But we have a problem. I'm going to present you with this problem real quick. We have 4 snipers in this room.
Huh?
Nah, scrap that. 3 snipers in this room, positioned on opposite sides of the room. Now we get to the side with 1 sniper. And we can do 2 things. We can either take him out and use the sniper to take the other guys out, which sounds pretty fast, or we can just skip him entirely. I mean, they have melee attacks if you get too close to them, but what if you just go? I'm not gonna lie, this level has kind of made me want to try a pacifist run, because it seems like it might be faster here to do a pacifist run. But anyways, I kicked his ass, shot the other 2 guys, and we get out of this room as quick as possible. We slide here, almost die, but it's okay, and we reach the other side of the hole. Or is this like a second hole? I'm not sure. We climb out of the hole and cue the doom music. Nah. Okay, you know what? Pacifist run. Okay, we turn 180 degrees and run over. Hop on this truck, over the fence, and we're gone. Good, good. Now, as a disclaimer, that's it for the combat in this video, okay? That's it. We got no more guns. So, hop in the elevator, and look at that, my boy Jacknife. Oh, he's already off. Not gonna lie, this zone seems pretty clean, considering the gameplay in my other videos with Mirror's Edge, where I kinda got stuck here and dropped into the wall and blah blah blah. This one seemed like a pretty clean run, so I'm not very sure what else I could do here. Maybe just manipulating my speed a bit more, but apart from that, seems clean enough. And after we reach the elevators, Jacknife just disconnects. So we take the side path, and I swear to God, this pipe every single time I teleport through it. I don't know how this happens. EA, check your code, please. After this, we drop on the building, go over to the scaffolding. Not sure if this is the fastest route, but whatever. We will hopefully save enough time in the previous parts that we don't need time to be saved here. And we use Jacknife. Nice. And I'm not gonna show you the cutscene. Go play the game if you want to get the story, please. Okay, let me show you the parts where we can optimize. Alright, optimizations. Now, I'm not gonna lie. The levels in this game have so many beautiful niche sections where you can save a lot of time and where you can manipulate a bit of the mechanics. So I would rather show you the optimizations while I'm showing you the run. But for now, let me show you an appetizer. Boom! First wall, Jacknife. What do we do here? Well, you know, first logical thing, let's try wall running over it. And boom. Yeah, we cannot wall run over it normally. Well, here I come with two solutions. First of all, the quick turn method. We go up close to the fence to the left wall, very important left wall, because the quick turn turns to the right. We climb up, quick turn, and coil jump over. And boom, we're over. But it is sluggish. I mean, you see, we still take damage, we just land, we're sluggish. Maybe we can try and find another way. Let's go back to square one. Wall running. Why didn't it work? Because we didn't have enough height. Okay. Oh, you see it, don't you? Trash can, baby. We jump on the trash can, bounce on the wall run, coil jump over, boom. Way faster, land on the ground. You might take a tick of damage, but it's still way faster than coil jumping over the wall normally. Let's talk about the canal. Now, if you drop onto this more shallow part of the canal, you actually don't have to roll, because if you drop in the deeper side, if you don't roll, you'll take damage, so you lose a couple of seconds. Apart from that, we'll use the mechanic with wall running so we get more speed when we jump off the walls, and apparently oscillating between left and right, we can actually dodge the sniper pretty efficiently. And you know what, just for fun, let me show you the speedrun of this. And holy shit, what is this man doing? Not gonna lie, I have no idea what this man's doing. But hey, look, he's going between the left and the right side, so he must be doing something right? Now this steam room. For now, we're gonna turn the valve again onwards, but I am pretty sure you can jump over this steam. I don't know how. When I find out, I want to implement this in the run, and I will explain it mid-run. But for now, let's just turn the valve. This is definitely jump overable. And boom, we get to the storm drain. Yes, I finally learned this is not a big asshole, it's a storm drain. Now, very important, this little piece of fence over here, we can jump on it. Off of it, we jump on the container, quick turn, and boom, we're on the planks already. Nice. Now, you see this piece of plank right here. What it does is when you jump on it, it drops a couple of levels, then it waits around for a couple of seconds and it drops down to the bottom. So we have to jump off it fast, right? Well, I'm gonna do something counterintuitive. I'm gonna sit in this corner right here and wait. And if you wait, you go with the plank down right next to this platform. And apparently this works a bit like the boat in Minecraft, I think. So it's kind of like that because it seems like when you jump off the plank, your speed gets reset. Because, well, technically I think you have no gravity, and I don't think momentum works off of gravity in this game, at least not this way. So, you know, when you jump off the plank, your gravity is practically at zero, so the game is like, oh, you're going normal speed, you're not gonna take damage. And you drop off this platform normally, no taking damage. Now, after I fuck around here for a couple of seconds before I realize I'm a dumbass, we head over here to the big ass doors. Now, a very important part about this is climbing pretty fast to this button. We jump on this, get stuck in the wall a bit, and boom, we get to the button. Now, this is more important on PC than console, I think, because when you press this button on PC, the timer actually stops. Also, it stops because I think this door in front of us only starts to open when the door behind us has closed. I don't know if it's like that on console, I'm not sure. Now the big atrium room. Very beautiful room, but you see that red ladder over there? Skip right past it because we're going forward. Now, using the wall run a bit to catch some speed, we jump over right on this ledge. And boom. First of all, these balancing beams, very important. A cool thing you can do with these balancing beams is either slide on them or jump on them to skip at least a bit of the animation. Skipping a little bit of this animation is very important because this animation is slow. And as you're gonna see later in the run, oh, not here, I just died. Later in the run, I can completely bypass this beam by just bunny hopping over it. This saves a lot of time and it just looks so cool. And now to my boy the sniper. Very important, we're gonna skip him this run. Pacifist run all ahead. We wall run right next to him because we don't want to get melee hit. And you get hit a couple of times, but apparently it is really good. Now, as for these big pillar parts, I think people use kick glitches here. I have zero idea how to do those, and I'm gonna try and explain them in another video. In this one, it's too much for me. So you know what? Take what you can get. And now, as for this small room. You know, this small room looks very innocent. You just jump on this red thing, and you jump on the wall, and you get over and you slide. Well, I sat here for a solid 5-10 minutes trying to find a way to climb over this because I was sure there has to be a way in which you can do this fast. And I have studied a couple of runs, and yes, they do it fast, but I said that's a bit too hard for me, so I tried to find a way myself that I can do it that's manageable. And I did. Let's look back at the first wall and how we get over it. Yeah, I said the bucket jump, but I also mentioned another method to do this. Going right next to the left side of the wall, climb on the wall, quick turn and jump, and you're over it. Same mechanic here, and boom. It is a lot faster than doing just the normal climb on this thing and, you know, jump over and get the slow animations, blah, blah, blah. This is way faster, but it is less consistent. Now, sliding on this, I don't know what the fuck this is. We get to this part here, and I swear, Every single player and their mothers has thought about skipping this. And you can! You can skip both of these holes. The first one, I found that you can side boost here, wall run, jump over it, and it is pretty clean. Next we press the button, and the server hole, much easier to jump over. You can just jump, coil, jump over it, and boom. The next storm drain we are in. We climb on these two pipes and we jump to the right side. It seems counterintuitive to jump to the right side because there's nothing here. There's only a fence and a dead end. Well, apparently you can jump on this fence, and if you get blessed by Iron Jesus, you can get a wall run here. It's not actually that hard to get a wall run, but sometimes you can fail it. And boom, we skip right over it. Yeah, I know, that's clean as hell. Now jumping over here and getting out of the storm drain, don't cue the doom music, because on this orange container, boom, jump over it, and over the fence we are. Very fast and clean, much cleaner than the truck route I took in the casual run. This is way faster and more cleaner. And now, Jacknife. Honestly, as for Jacknife, I found only a couple of optimizations. First of all, studied some runs, and I think people use, again, kick glitches here to skip a lot of the parts with Jacknife, which look insanely cool, but again, way too hard for me. So, right now we're just gonna have to rely on clean pathing and movement, approximating the heights at which I should and shouldn't roll, and apart from that, only real small skip I could find was this fence over here, where you can jump on the box on the left side and wall run, which is probably way faster than dropping down and jumping over the fence. And apart from that, here is my favorite skip, the wall run boost. Now the wall run boost, or as some people call it, the barbed wire boost, is a very funny boost. It's also not practical at all. This is like one of the only spots where you can use it, I think. So you know what, to explain it better, Chapter 5, baby. Here you go, analyze this wall for a second here. We have a wall and a panel above it. Now the panel, as you can see, has a hitbox that goes a bit beyond the wall. This is very important. What we want to do is climb on the wall. Once we reach the top and we hit our head against this panel, we want to side jump off the wall. And if you do correctly and time it correctly, which is pretty hard, you get launched behind you. Now, how do you do this consistently? I have no fucking idea. I just do it a million times and it works. Also, it's again not very practical because there's not a lot of spots where you can do this, and it's also risky because it is hard to time and easily failable. Here are a couple of attempts on the Jacknife route. This is the wall where we do it, and not gonna lie, I've gotten it quite a bit of times, but I've never gotten it to work so far. So yeah, I'm gonna show you the run. I know it's not a very optimized run and it's not the best it could be, but you know what? I think it implements a little bit of just casual running and a little bit of skips very well, and I think it's just a fun run all around. So let's get into the real runs. And if I have any more optimizations or skips, or if I find anything new, I'ma tap in mid-run. Alright, now, I wouldn't be transparent if I didn't show you some of my fails. And by some, I mean, holy fucking shit, almost like 50 runs, maybe, probably more. I'm gonna try to keep this section short because we gotta talk about a lot, so let's go. First of all, the first wall skip. I don't know, the first day I just completely messed it up and I could not get it done. But after a bit of training, if you look more away from the wall, you get it more consistently. And a very important thing, there are three types of jumps you can get here. You can get, well, I guess there's more actually. You can get one that slows you down and you slide and you get the animation that slows you down and also damages you. You can get the one that deals one tick of damage but it doesn't slow you down, and you can get one that doesn't slow you down whatsoever and you don't take damage. Now, I have never gotten one that you don't take damage in, but I have gotten a lot of the prior two. So, if you get one that slows you down and puts you in an animation of sliding, scrap that shit, okay? That run is not good. But if you do consistently enough and looking away from the wall a bit, you get ones when you get only take one tick of damage and boom, it's over. But you don't get slowed down, so it's perfect. As for the canal section, honestly, not much of a problem here. This is a pretty optimized, I don't know, pathing of this canal section, so it's not really that much to fail here. As for the steam room, I am very sorry, but I could not get the skip. I don't have the time or just, I don't know, the understanding so far for getting this skip done. I have no idea how this skip gets done. I try to space myself compared to the valve. I try to slide under it. I just couldn't get it. I don't know if it's a new patch. I definitely know it's possible. I've seen it done. I just don't know how to do it. Apart from that, the first storm drain, this helicopter, wow, goddamn, he is very goddamn aggressive. So we have to jump down this platform, and here I took a liberty of updating my pathing. And instead of taking the left path, I took the right path for the simple reason that taking the left path sometimes ends up with you dying. because the helicopter sometimes gets a bit too aggressive, and believe me, that shit is not a buzzard, okay? It kills you. It kills you very, very fast, okay? And honestly, even if you take the right path, you still usually die. But I got lucky, and taking the right path led to more consistent results, and usually only maybe 1 second slower. So, not that important. Now, another important part I want to mention, the second storm drain now. Also, I want to say that the parts I skip over, like for example the big atrium or the little room with the slider, I just had no problems there. So they're like literally the same as they were in the optimization section. Now, the second storm drain. I've told you about this skip with the fence right here, but it is very inconsistent when it comes to the spacing, and to be honest, I didn't have enough time to get the spacing down to muscle memory. So I decided to implement another skip of similar value, let's say. If we climb out the pipe and go to the left now, climb a bit more, and we get to this valve right here, turn it off, get up to speed, and boom, we will run right over it. And guess what? This yields the same results as the first skip I presented to you, even though it is much easier. And not only is it much easier, it is also much safer. I want you to understand that throughout this whole run, the reason I'm presenting you risks and fails, skips are riskier either the harder they are, like for example, the first jump skip compared to a second jump skip in the storm drain, or by how far they are in the run. So for example, if I just failed the wall section in like the first wall skip, it's not that big of a deal, but if I failed the final skip, it hurts. So, now, shall we talk about Jacknife? I'm so sorry, but I have absolutely zero time or dedication right now to get the Jackknife skip done. Even if I were a professional speedrunner, I would probably not employ this skip because it is a very hefty skip. Very impractical too. It's a very fun one. Getting launched across the screen at fucking Mach 3 speed it is very fun, but it's not practical whatsoever because it's risky, inconsistent, it can kill your runs completely. You have no real setup for it. We're not doing that. But I'm gonna show you a cooler skip. If we get up to speed and get on these pipes, we get to this ventilation. And if we go to the right now and we jump at the last pixel, boom, that's absolutely perfect. I want to mention that these skips were not found by me, and I feel it proper to give credit to one person that I've been watching throughout these past couple of weeks trying to document myself, and this is a person named Oven Donkey. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, I don't know. I'm a dumbass. I'm gonna link them down in the description. I know the runs are 10 years old, 11, 13 years old. I know, but they have a lot of soul, okay? And they teach you a lot about the game, so just go give them a watch if you're more interested in highly comprehensive guides and just a cool guy doing cool runs. Those are all the fails. Now, let's look at the actual run.
Shit, he's too fast. I lost him.
So this is the spot. 34 seconds, full on widescreen. And listen to this. Yeah, you can hear me shuffling. So it's definitely some sort of soft lock that I almost touched. But I managed to save it and touch the trigger finally. So let's continue.
Can you find another way through to him?
Whew. This is recorded a mere minute after I finished the run. The 807. Yeah, it's not a fast run by any means of the imagination, but my goal was under 830. Now the final part here at the Jacknife elevator, I had a 707 and I seriously thought it would crash the game because it sat here for like 34 seconds. Exactly, I counted. And I'm just gonna leave it up on screen so you can see it right here. I'm commentating over it. Yeah, I don't know, you can hear my feet shuffling and I think I walked out of the elevator. I don't know if I didn't touch the trigger that triggers the cutscene or something, but here I walk out of the elevator somehow, luckily saving the run, and we get an 807. What would the run be? Well, you would just have to do 807 minus 34, so that would be about like a what? Like a 733. This is really just a 733. I'm not sucking my own dick. I'm just saying I got stuck in the elevator for 34 seconds, so technically if I would have gotten out there faster, the run would have been 34 seconds faster. Now, I'm not bummed out because here's the interesting part. The world record run a lot of years ago, like 13 years ago, was 7 minutes and 20 seconds. 20 seconds? What the fuck? 26 seconds. This is very approachable taking my approach because they implement a skip in the Jackknife section that I did not implement because I did not have enough time to train for it. So you know what this tells you? You can do it. I'm such a dumbass and I raged a bit too much when failing so many times. But the only thing that you need is persistence and a little bit of skill, of course, and a good keyboard. Mine is broken, but wow. I mean, this is very hard. Yeah, of course, the speedrun nowadays is like 4 minutes or something, like 351. That's not reachable by me, but this is reachable by any of us. So you can technically get a world record from, well, almost a decade and a half ago, but still, that's incredible to me. So you know what? Go out there and get the goddamn run.